Well, let's get more on this now with Tarik Oguzlu, who joins us from Antalya. He's a professor of international relations at Istanbul Aydin University. Really good to have you with us, Professor. Why is Turkey really supporting South Africa in this case against Israel right now?
I think the main reason is quite clear and should be obvious to all of us, including the larger international community, because what Israeli government has been doing in Gaza since the early October of last year is a prime example of genocidal activity against the Palestinian people living in Gaza. So in terms of each and every kind of action Israeli government has undertaken so far, those actions have already caused immense degree of calamities, immense degree of humanitarian catastrophes, war crimes in one way or another. And according to South African Republic, they are entitled to be defined as genocide. So Turkish authorities have also been arguing the same thing. I will tell you that, thank God, one country, which is South Africa, has taken the courage to sue Israeli government before the International Court of Justice. And so far, we have had the picture that many countries all around the globe are very much supportive of this action. Maybe not completely giving oral support to the South African application, but at least we know that they feel quite sympathetic with South African action. And maybe today, if I'm not mistaken, the International Court of Justice will also declare a kind of temporary decision on this particular application, whether the Israeli actions could be defined as genocidal and whether Israel should be ordered to stop the ongoing violence in the region. So we are waiting to see what kind of a decision the International Court of Justice will come out very soon.
That's right. We are expecting a decision from the ICJ in The Hague imminently on this issue. What could the possible impact be? Do you think this the decision they hand down will have any sort of significant effect on the war that's currently happening in Gaza?
First of all, let me underline the fact that the real decision, the final decision, will take so many years on this particular application. But at least if the Court of Justice decides on even on temporary grounds to order Israeli government to stop the military activities in the region, this will create a kind of angry against Israeli government, and it will also boost the claim of those who have been just from the very beginning were saying that this Israeli military activities is a prime example of a genocide. So Israel will find it quite difficult to garner any positive sympathy or any positive approval in the eyes of the international community. So everything will be much more difficult from the Israeli perspective. This even will push the Israel's main supporter in the Western international community to somehow act much more in a balanced way. So it's going to be extremely difficult for the United States in particular to continue giving unconditional support to the Israeli government. Rather than this decision forcing Israel to change its course of actions on the ground, I am of the view that this will have a much more greater impact on the way how the United States will approach the Israeli government. Because so far we are already aware of the fact that the American administration is not that much happy, quote unquote, with the way how Israeli government is acting on the ground. So Israel will be in a much tough situation, much difficult situation in such a way to convince the international community to the legitimacy of what it has been doing on the ground.
Okay, Professor Tarik Oguzlu, we will have to leave it there, but thank you so much as always for joining us on the program.